Hey everybody,
I'm Andor.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Will.
And we are
Working Title.
Yo, this is Season 1 of Star Wars Andor, Episode 4, Aldhani. Last on, Christopher Nolan style, things were ticking, a big time bomb was going off, and it looks like Bootstrap Bill has potentially recruited Andor to join him in the rebellion.
So guys, if y'all enjoy the video, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, comment down below what you think of Andor so far. We're super excited to be getting into another hyped episode. We have a Patreon if y'all want to see a couple shows weeks in advance. Some movies, we got some awesome movies joined in there. And this is not a market substitute. We don't own this. Check it out on Disney Plus and watch your boys. We're gonna punch it.
Oh, he got hit?
Yeah, I remember you got shot.
Oh, right.
Do as I say. Calculations complete. What's up? Mad Nog. Just a sip.
Mednog. He's like, this is a whiskey.
Put a real stick in the eye of the Empire. Get paid for it. I wondered who you were. I fought in Midman when I was 16. 2 years of it. Straight out of prison into the mud.
Yep.
I'm one of 50 that survived.
Damn, Han's one of the others.
Yeah.
How did it turn
Well,
out we were fighting?
He snuck off, so I guess take out one.
Ourselves. You came in as a cook. You left because you ran.
Damn.
Just like Han.
But you're right about one thing. The Empire had you fighting each other. Wouldn't you rather give it all at once to something real than carve off useless pieces till there's nothing left?
Damn.
I didn't risk my ass for the Starbeth unit.
You.
I came for you. Big stakes, big danger. Prep team, good plan.
Hell yeah.
You survive and deliver. I'll give you 200,000.
Let's
Damn.
go.
That's way more he was offering for that thingy.
I don't know.
Payroll for an entire Imperial site.
The quarterly payroll.
What the
He's gonna have to sneak on to like the HR part of the ship to get their payroll.
I'm stealing your finances,
Oh!
Let's...
Yes.
Oh!
Thank God.
It's
we're
New York,
here.
but 20 times better.
No one likes the Imperials, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we get to see Imperial occupied Coruscant.
Yeah.
Never seen that. Well, one time ever.
The Rydal sector.
I love that
Any
dude.
further erosion in local authority.
Where would you target these new resources, Supervisor Grant?
Kyburn.
Ah. Yeah.
Looking for
Wildfire.
imperial activity.
Very good, Dedra. That is verbatim from the ISB mission statement.
Oh, they are
Wrong.
ISB.
Love it. You know what that means. We might be seeing
Call the Navy. Launch a regiment of troopers. We are healthcare providers.
Moff Gideon.
Yes, sir.
Don't trouble yourself writing the memorandum. I'll reassign it.
Oh.
On our sector, this incident on Fex. Young,
Sir?
elaborate on
Does
these
she
added
know
protection
about that?
requests.
Cass.
Clem.
Oh, man, I like the facial hair.
You gotta make him look young. You're looking too old.
Kyber crystal?
Take this. It's a Quati signet. New Kyber, Skystone.
Wow.
Ancient world. Celebrates the uprising against the Rakatan invaders.
Whoa, Rakatan. That's an Old Republic
It'll
term.
always be worth more to me.
It's the first time it's ever been mentioned in anything. Well,
Is it broken? It's not all blue.
it's not. I know her too. Some god they keep introducing people I recognize. Ah, that's so annoying. She's the waif from Game of Thrones.
Get the message.
I'm glad
The
you
girl that wants to stab Arya in Bravos.
Yep.
It's a few days on that.
like hearing
So
that.
wild.
As you know.
Star Wars is just Game of Thrones actors now. Literally, there's so
That's
many
it.
in Star Wars.
That's good.
That's
That's
great.
good.
I love it.
The writing failed the Game of Thrones department, so they took all the actors and brought them to Star Wars.
Yeah, fuck
Except for David and Dan.
Yeah, fuck those two.
Are you giving me a choice here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take it, we'll call it off.
Oh.
I was planning to shut you down.
Oh.
Your odds have improved since we set the meeting.
What's Clem's last name?
Midia.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
God.
You set that joke up, I stole it.
I'm leaving it in.
You will immediately relinquish Andox.
There
You
we
will not
go.
return to your living quarters.
Some solo
You will
outfits
leave
right there.
and be escorted with haste to the transfer center.
Royce is
Your
pissed.
personal items. Take solace in this. You will not be replaced. You've rung the final bell on corporate independence. As of this morning, the Milana system is under permanent imperial authority.
There you go.
You fucked up. Looked like he was about to cry.
Right,
There
yeah.
something I need to worry about.
No.
If you change that in any way, you and I are going to have a big problem.
Andor's like, I didn't sign up for this. I don't even know who you are.
My name is Clem.
You got your hair
What's so hard?
braids, you got a poncho on, you're smoking the Zaza, and you got me trolling out in the middle of nowhere.
Airfield nearby, and you've got nothing
I like
better
his
to do than
poncho.
patrol, so
He took hers.
it's a safe
Oh.
Tell me about the payroll, not the garrison. How many of us are there?
Now we are 7.
Magnificent Seven.
Against the
Boom.
garrison.
Let's
Take
go.
your wind. This is a long walk.
Nice.
Oh,
Shoot,
shit.
dude.
Good ears.
Love
So we'll
it.
be back today.
Man, I feel like she should have been more aware of that. He's new here. You know what I mean? Like,
They've misspelled ferrets.
oh, so the unit got stolen from her.
Considering the meeting's got to be here.
Imperial, like, high-ranking officers always look so insanely professional. Like, always, like, a slicked hair look. Their hair has to look really neat.
That's the point, too.
Yeah.
037.
Control. Order.
Yep. Cold and callous. Calculated. Nothing fun.
I don't think I've seen an Imperial officer with facial hair either.
No, I think it's like against their protocol or whatever.
Oh. Master Disguise. Is he Imperial?
No,
Or he's playing a role of someone?
Whoa. This is a rich person.
What the
Royalty.
hell? Hugh Hefner.
Look at him, he's getting in the role.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, they made it seem like he had to be a secret to the people that are doing this like rebel mission
Yeah.
too.
Do not talk about him. He does not exist.
Don't look down.
Damn, I love the wit.
Yeah, I like him.
Binary Moons. Damn, the location today. I think this is Iceland? That I do not know. Never
That looks
mind.
like an AK.
Ne-
Another.
Black Mirror.
You ride with Mossy, Garvish, Sol Guerrero.
Dude, I'm loving this show.
Whoa.
Oh, look at the horns on them.
They had like 4.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at this.
It's like an assault rifle from
Yeah.
Halo.
Damn! I was gonna say that. I'm slacking hardcore.
The sets in this show, though, are incredible.
Oh,
Where's
Narm.
he going?
Is it Narm?
Karn.
Karn.
So funny.
There we go.
I can't believe this guy's from Peldark.
Oh, look at it though. He's not from the upper district. Oh
He's from
man.
the lower district. Interesting.
Oh man.
Man, look at this. This is wild looking.
This show's already shaping up to be potentially the best Star Wars thing behind Rogue One for me. It's potential. I go with caution. But
Mom?
they're building a really good atmosphere though.
Yeah.
Aww. Hi. Oh, hey.
Person behind.
What are you staring at?
See?
As opposed to when?
Trust him with our lives.
That's my call to make.
Damn.
He's committed.
They're being pretty loud. You totally could have heard them. Damn, look at that ride.
Told you.
It's like a caddy.
Hugh Hefner, I told you.
Mom Muffa.
New driver.
Oh, hey.
Oh, wow.
Anyone we know?
Never seen him.
Oh,
Always right when you're leaving, everyone remembers all
Was
the
that the
things
same
that
actress
you
too
did.
from
so.
Rogue and Revenge of the Sith?
Senator, this is a place where time stands still. But with the oldest one is up. With a power and money.
Oh!
See the ceremony
Oh!
in many places, but
There's
the
wait.
Oh,
what's
the
Django-
Star Killer's outfit!
Holy shit!
But is that Django's to the right? Did you see that? The plate or the chest piece? I know that doesn't.
That's
look
his
Star
Sith
Killer.
It is!
Yeah.
It's
his,
his
like-
non-canon Sith outfit.
That's the end of game.
Terribly interesting.
You're right. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Make him canon, you sons of bitches.
Look at
Dude,
that.
that's his
That's
helmet.
it. That's it.
That's it.
I'm done. This is the
That's
greatest show
amazing.
ever. I'm so here
I
for
have
this.
something very special that just came in.
Oh my gosh.
I feel under siege.
I love the intricacies and like how these people have to go about keeping their mouth shut. It's so
Makes
insane.
sense.
So insane. I feel the pressure in every
I found
scene.
someone I think can help me.
Someone
Who? I don't remember who's working with her.
No.
I know what I'm asking.
No. We're vulnerable enough. We need funding, not more people to worry about.
Don't lecture me on vulnerability.
I like how it looks like a register, like, you know what I mean? Like at a mall store. It's like.
Look at the extent
That
they
car
went
is
to
so
make
fucking
this show,
dope.
man. I mean, this already looks better than like all the planets from Obi-Wan. The intricacy in what they had to do with CGI alone for this place. Oh, I love that whoosh. Yeah, I heard the sound too. Man, Andor.
Is this our 7th?
Love that.
On top of what?
On top of being someone I've never met who suddenly got my neck in their hands.
I know the feeling.
Are we done?
Oh.
Who is he?
He's Clem. He's here. That's
I love that this is espionage because no one ever really uses like names out loud, so we're always left to wonder who the hell they're talking about that they're working with,
Yeah.
and that just makes it like 100 times more fun. Bonsai tree. I finally beat Adam to a plant,
I was actually waiting for Adam to call it out.
and I was so disappointed that he didn't. I was so proud of myself,
I added it a month ago after we discussed
bro. Imagine they bring in the
Remember?
Emperor into this show
Remember you wearing
because
me
we're
down.
dealing with the politics on Coruscant.
I
Yeah.
don't think anyone could do that.
You can't be serious. These people hate me. They spend every day trying to undo anything I've
Yikes.
touched.
Perhaps tomorrow they'll think twice.
Not right now, please. Go.
Is hubby not in on the whole like plots
Well
for the
played,
Rebel
Harry.
Rebel?
I don't think so.
That's
No,
has
I'm
to be
not being
so
serious.
hard. Oh my gosh.
Don't seat them near me.
Oh, I've taken care of that. You're at the boring end of the table. These people are fun.
Hey, do you know how many will starve? Perhaps we can laugh about it over the third course.
Perhaps you should have a rest.
If you make me pay attention, I will, and you won't be happy.
Who's they?
Do this again.
Did they hire the House of Cards writers?
There's rumor you bought me a present.
It's going back.
Must everything be boring and sad?
Yeah, I don't think he's in on the loop on
Not at all.
everything.
Artie Amma and dammed up Nas McLean.
Wow. Nice diorama.
Yeah.
For
Now, the
being in
Aldhani
the
garrison
middle of
is a
nowhere.
depot for all to protect this runway opening here.
I'll do it. Inspector, that piece.
Oh, that's his.
The runway is underground, the flight deck of a
Love
single Max 7 Rona.
They'll be on here in minutes.
9 minutes. We've timed it.
Okay.
Thanks.
You'll be lucky to make it
Actually
right.
clever.
To see what?
Imagine 50 meteor showers all at once.
Damn.
The curtain being pulled across the sky.
That's gonna be really cool to see.
Oh.
The window to the galaxy forms over the horizon.
Oh my
You've seen
gosh.
this?
I've been here almost 7 years. I've seen it twice.
Wow.
Tell me more.
It's not the event it used to be. Now they've got everyone relocated. It's a pretty sad affair, but the eye,
It's amazing.
it's not something you'll soon forget.
Oh, let's
Yes.
go!
2,000 of us. It's a recurrent band of crystallized non-translucent microdensities. Billions of crystals. Very heavy, but small and unstable.
Okay.
As the planet
Hey,
passes through
hey,
the belt,
nerd.
they swarm the atmosphere,
No, let him
heat up,
talk.
and explode.
That's your car.
It's pretty smart.
Yes. Gets us in, gets us out.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like when he saw like that plan, he was like, "This is exciting."
Yeah.
Alert me when this materializes into something more definite. Until then, confine future activities to your sectors. Thank you, Lieutenant.
You know, what's funny is, did you see the way he walked out?
Right.
He was very proud of himself.
Super. Maybe sending more of that sort of work your way.
Thank you, sir.
We're done.
I mean, your gut feeling is right, but she ain't got enough proof for it.
Yeah.
Know how to use this?
Yeah, it's a Game Boy.
It's the Rono freighter specs on the console layout.
I have to learn the language in 3 days.
Everyone's staring.
Can I, Michael?
And you'll have learned all that by morning.
Oh,
I'll take the first watch.
It's okay. It's okay. He's a professional. Leo the professional. He's got this.
Clem.
Clem's got this. They don't trust him, but I do. Yeah. Wow.
That's an awkward way to end an episode.
Very
Sure.
awkward, but that's very intraditional to Path 3.
episode 4. I'm with you. I like the intricacy of how they have to be so quiet and hush hush about all this.
Well, for one, it's
They have to
fun
be
because
sleuths.
I don't watch a whole lot of espionage, so it's a fun genre that I'm not super accustomed to, so it's nice to get to see that, at least through this, as a gateway into maybe more of that, but it also just adds a level of mystery.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, it allows for them to say, oh, that guy, the guy that's bringing us that delivery, it just makes it fun just for the sake of shock value eventually, because it puts a level of concealment over anyone they want to bring into the show. And there's a whole group of people that could be in this show because of the time period we're in. So it makes it fun in that regard. It's also fun because it also adds a layer on top of that of, like, having to pay attention to things, because just like in House of Dragons, there's levels to the conversational pieces. Like, I know, like, you don't like you were joking about the one guy who said it's every 9 minutes, and while it can come off as like a correction or something like that, it's actually telling us exactly what his position is.
No, I got you.
Like, that's like an info piece, and that's fun, and it's there, and it's away immediately. But those kind of things are great ways of the show don't tell rule of thumb for TV, for what can make TV good or bad. Is it's annoying when this show has to tell you everything about a person, but that tiny piece of info is a show to know that guy is like somebody who is studying all the layabouts of the land. Like, he was the one, I think, who came off the speeder bike, and if I'm
Lieutenant Gorn.
Lieutenant Gorn, and so you could assume, and if
He's
I'm wrong,
part of the
if I'm
Empire.
wrong about that, there was a couple of people, but like things like that are like little nuggets to work with to figure out like who these type of people are, without the show necessarily having to be like, I'm the engineer, I'm the best in my business.
This is Sam. He is our bomb expert. He knows every type of bomb from bomb 1 to bomb nitrate times 3.
Yeah, and it's more fun to learn through little nuggets like, oh, don't break my set.
Yeah.
To be like the little kid is the guy who like might be a plan setter, or cartographer. Yeah.
He's probably the one
A
that
map
like
layer.
went and like looked at everything. It was like, okay, this is what this looks like. This is this, and put it all to scale.
And it's fun. Like, I like when stories are told like that, because it for one, it makes the audience have to work a tiny bit to like try to figure out and maneuver around the show being clever. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is I loved this episode.
This episode was good.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
And one last thing before we break down and jump into our thoughts. That little just to talk about the Starkiller thing real quick. We can talk about it later, but that was exciting, and I almost fell out of my seat for it. But it's also, just comparing to Rings of Power, so much better than when something appears in that show, because it's not that's not the thing that is carrying the weight of the episode to make me happy. That just happened to be there on top of a great episode and made me want to fall, because I'm happy that is occurring in this great episode.
Yeah.
Because now it's memorable.
Yeah.
Solidified, and now I want to talk to my brothers about this when we're done today. I want to call them up and be like, hey, did you see that thing? Did you see the episode? Anyway, sorry.
You two can correct me if I'm wrong. Are we actually watching the rebellion be built right now?
We definitely are watching the rebellion
The
being
seeds.
built. Yeah. I mean, like,
there's key players, but it's not all complete.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, from...
This is crazy!
This isn't a spoiler, but, like, the rebellion in general starts out as, like, people fighting against the Empire in their own areas. Like, you know, it's like...
That's what the one was saying. There's three sectors where she was like, I'm seeing a pattern and there's methods.
Yeah, and so she's thinking that it's organized, or it's becoming organized, And then, but like in reality, in a lot of these places, it's like, well, these people don't like the Empire here, and like they just want their freedom to be able to run their oil business how they want. So they're like blowing up the oil that they're taking, and then these people over here trying to have free trade. You know, it's like everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Yeah. And that's one thing that's cool about this is because in most of Star Wars that we have seen, or I guess that the majority of the audience has seen, we have seen open warfare Star Wars, where it's like, we do not support you guys, and we're going out, we're rolling up to planets with fleets, and like we're walking out, but like in reality, like everything they're doing is treason. So like they have to be doing it covertly at some point until they've amassed the resources and the manpower to be a full-on like military threat. So that's why it's like, you know, when she is having when the senator is having the conversation with Luthen, she's like, I can't just like pull and move funds as much as I used to because like there's spies everywhere. Like we're being watched.
When I go to the bank, there's new faces.
Yeah. So it's like, it's not like she can just go pull like, you know, 10 racks and just like, yo, go pay these people for this thing. Mm-hmm. Like they have to do it covertly all throughout. So and that's something that's cool because like in general, I feel like in stories that describe war, I feel like generally that's not what we get. We generally get like the big fight, like this is the invasion that we've planned 20 years for or the past year for. But it's like you don't ever get to see the build up or like the creation, like the spark of the rebellion, if you will. So and of course there are definitely going to be people who are like in open rebellion. They're like, nah, we don't fuck with you, and like are doing like wild stuff. But then there's others that are like the senator and Luthen that are trying to behind the scenes pull together resources and play their cards right so they can like stand up to the Empire or get enough like backing and support for it.
Who are I'm in sheer ecstasy right now. Sorry, I'm just thinking of a lot of things.
Go ahead.
No, forget it.
Okay.
I'm sorry if that was me.
No, that's not really important. I was just gonna ask who are some other key figures in the rebellion, but it doesn't matter because you dropped Organa.
Well, I was gonna say I don't want to like. I feel like we're gonna be meeting some of them.
I'm not gonna say any of who they are because I definitely think we will meet people.
And from my understanding, I think you might not know some of them because you haven't seen Rebels, you haven't seen Clone Wars, most of it, and you haven't seen Rogue One. No. And you haven't played a lot of video games of this era, so you might be meeting people that we know that are fun, that you'll have to get your a raw experience from that.
Who's the...
will be interesting.
Who's the guy that you guys flipped out on?
A man named Saul Guerrero.
Yeah.
A very fun individual to meet, and a very fun actor who plays him in a live action capacity as well. But to start the episode, I think we began with Bootstrap Bill. I just want to Luthen. Luthen's a Middle Earth name, by the way. That's what I keep thinking of. But Luthen and Andor were talking on the ship, and I enjoyed that conversation because like there was some teases about like perception of rebellion. Andor was like, I know. Well, one was trying to read the other, and Andor was like, I know who you are. And then he listed a couple names, and
aren't they all the same?
And then he said, well, what was his retort? He said, yeah, or something like that, or.
What was the initial thing he said? I'm sorry.
He was talking about like the guerrilla group, the guerrilla warfare group, all the different types of rebels that exist, but they're not under one banner yet. They just have different sections of names. But one thing that you're not you're not really familiar with is you only really know the rebels, the final result of it. But there is definitely different groups that some are more extreme than others, and a lot of them might not like one another in terms of how groups get things done. But I can't remember if Bootstrap Bill said he considers them all one or not.
He says, aren't they all the same? And Andor says something like, you could die.
Well, they're all. He was just saying that he thinks it's all pointless.
Yeah.
But I think they either dismissed the fact that they could all be a unit or not. But regardless of where that weight falls, also tells us a bit about Luthien. Because he can see it now as a single organized group, because that's the age that we're in, where we're no longer different tribes. Like if you've seen Solo, you remember Solo, the girl biker gang is technically one of those groups, or would become one of those groups after that movie came out, because they incentivized or brought up the idea of one day gathering together, but they have their own way of doing things. But I just thought it was cool that they're talking about the different sections, because that's kind of a new concept in terms of Star Wars that we haven't gotten to fully explore. Is like we might join up with one of the rebel group. We don't know where Cassian's with right now. We don't know what type of people group he's with in terms of how these guys will conduct operations. Clem.
No
right,
real names
sorry.
here.
But like that would be something interesting, because we might not get the like good typical rebels. We might be getting like murderers.
Or edgy.
Like edgy group. Also, battery's about to die. Yeah. So I was just excited about hearing different groups, different sects of the rebellion, and then.
Well, you were also talked about the biker group in Han Solo. They dropped a battle from the Solo movie that Han was involved with.
Mibin. The Battle of Mibin, So
the Mud Planets.
I imagine that's where he met Chewie.
That's where he met Chewie. Yep. We actually saw Mud Troopers today too, because when the dude from the White Council, we'll call them, pulled up to
the White Council.
I mean, it's just the White Room. Yeah. The
Oh, we pulled up to the main planet.
Yeah, there was some
He took
there, and
over.
he yelled at them. And go figure, the Imperials have finally taken over that planet, Fondor, or whatever it was called. And then our guys pulled up to the planet's name of the
Adali.
Aldhani.
Aldhani. I think it's
Aldi.
Aldhani.
I mean, at minimum, Cassian is not supposed to go by his name.
Clem.
And he also is not supposed to know. No one's supposed to know that Vel / Cassian are involved with Luthen.
Yes.
And that it's not supposed to be Cassian, it's supposed to be Clem. And basically, Vel takes him back and is like, listen, they're probably not going to like this. I don't really like you being involved, but no one can know about him. We can't really tell you why we're doing this, but, like, this is the mission.
And you've been a part of the plan the entire time.
Yeah. And
the overall goal is to steal a quarterly salary of
payroll
of how many people in the
entire
whole garrison.
The garrison's guarding it. It's a whole sector.
Whole sector. I wonder how much that like.
Well, that's like, I mean, a sector is like the whole, like, oh, Naboo and this place are all in this sector.
Yeah.
So it's like, it could be like anywhere from like 2 to 5 planets or something like that. If I'm wrong, fuck you.
But I mean, that's pretty cool though. Like that's what we're going for. There's not some Kyber crystal that we're after in this mission. We're simply trying to get wages for one. Maybe just paying for mercenaries at base value, like because there might not be a big enough group for rebellion. Maybe you need soldiers to incentivize soldiers that might want to join, but also
supplies.
Supplies, ships.
Well, okay, so I'm going to say this. I don't think that they mean, and I could be wrong, when they're talking about payroll, I think they're talking about looking at, like, how many people they
really have.
Just broke, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's like seeing, like, what is the staffing like. I don't really think
that's what I thought it
money.
was. I was just about to ask, is it money? No, I think it's how much they make.
No, no. It's not how much they make. It's how many people are like when someone says how many people do you have on payroll, it means how many employees do you have hired. Yeah. So they're asking about like what are their numbers essentially. They're trying to see who's on the roster.
On the Death Star.
Yes, essentially. How many peoples are on the Death Star? That's not public knowledge yet.
Yeah.
Or like in this area. So if they're trying to form a rebellion unit or figure out where they need to attack or what's happening, like that's the information that they're stealing.
That's bizarre and wild and extremely fun.
Yeah.
And
they they get acquainted. Everybody's not happy that Clem is involved.
Very understandable.
And then a lieutenant who is a part of the team who's in the Empire.
Gorn.
He is, a turncoat.
Was it Gore or Gorn?
Gorn.
Okay, there was an N.
He is basically like they're giving them the uniforms and kind of helping them with the plan as well.
Yeah.
And they basically come up with a plan to take a like carrier type of freight thing in and go up against a whole garrison, steal the payroll in a vault, and then at the moment that there's going to be some like big natural event that can provide them cover, they will escape.
And it sounds exciting from what the cover is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
A giant meteor. What was it? 50 meteor
50x meteor shower.
Yeah, and it's called the Eye, right?
The Eye of Adali, I think. is what they called it.
We got. I hope. I mean, I'm not against waiting for it. It sounds like it'll be a fun build up and a fun reward.
Yeah.
We also got to see some Mon Mothma today. She's over in Coruscant, and she's like at the high up end of maneuvering through players that have big effects on planets. Her role is actually pretty important from what it sounds like. What?
That was...
They said it. Mon Mothma.
I didn't catch that. That was her from A New Hope?
Yeah. I mean, not the same actress.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Come on. She's the one from Revenge of the Sith, and you'll see her.
Didn't even know she was in Revenge of the Sith.
She was in a deleted scene. She got cut out.
She's a senator in the like she's
the one who read the plans to the peoples about the Death Stars.
She is a peer of Padme's and Bail Organa.
They said I think they said Senator Mothma.
They did.
Okay, I was like, did I spoil that?
No. She when she pulled up when Luthen was at his House of Antiquities or whatever you want to call it.
His assistant was
she said Senator Mothma is pulling up.
Yeah.
With a new driver. So.
Yeah, but that's her. Yeah, so that's exciting because she is a big contender.
I know.
In the rebellion.
Yeah. What's that? What's the line that she says in A New Hope?
Many Bothans died.
That's
this
it.
Information.
Yes.
Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But so that's exciting, and she has workings with Luthen, and
she's the fund.
She's the fund, and he's posing as a collector. Brought in the coolest freaking Easter egg in these episodes so far.
Starkiller's Sith helmet.
I about had a heart attack when I saw that, because I know people for days have been rumoring and talking about the possibility of Starkiller finally being canonized one day.
They should just canonize him.
And man, I feel like that's just the big, hey, prepare yourself, it's coming. Prepare yourself. It might not be that. That might not be canon as Starkiller's outfit, but it could be a tease of things to look forward to, whether it be in the Fallen Order game or who knows what. But I'm waiting and I'm praying. But yeah, and she was just reporting like what you guys said, the levels at which she now has to go to stay covert because of the banks. Her husband, we learned also, is not. It appears he's not.
He's not in the fold on this.
Is super difficult because he's inviting people over that
hate her.
She's fighting against, and she works in the She works in the Senate, which these are the final days of the Senate, by the way. When A New Hope starts, the Senate is out. The Emperor has finally found a way to get them out of commission. So these are like the final days, really, of Grand Mothma's place as a person,
as a public ruling figure.
How do you say her name?
Mon Mothma.
Mothma.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a TH in there.
Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mon Mothma.
I'm gonna fuck up her name.
That's okay. They listed all these people.
Because of a video of YouTubers that I showed you guys. That give her a different name. I'm not saying the name.
No.
So I may accidentally say that name.
I will bleep it out.
Please do.
Speaking of names, I didn't know any of the new people we got introduced to, even though I was able to ace everybody on Fondor.
Yeah.
I don't know a single person.
The
from
squad you're talking about?
Yeah.
Isn't there's one
it's because
Scram?
It's because they did it all at once, and I can't do that.
Nemec.
I don't learn that
There
way.
was Vel.
Nemec.
Cinta was the pretty girl that was helping him.
And I understood that because of The Witcher. I thought of Siri. I call it cilantro. That's what I thought of cilantro when I heard that.
Nemec.
Vel was
Gorn was the easiest one.
Scrim.
Vel was the kid that was like the nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, Vel's the girl.
Vel's the girl.
The Wake.
What was the dude's name?
Then there was the random white dude, and I don't know anything about what his position is.
We don't know what two of the people are doing, really. So,
Yeah.
or three of them, but
big old mustache guy.
Regardless.
Oh, by the way, the young kid is from my favorite episode in Black Mirror. One of my 3 favorite episodes in Black Mirror. And one day I hope we can watch that show, and hopefully you guys can pick him up. I think the episode's called Shoot the DJ or something like that, or Don't Shoot the DJ. Yeah, shout out. That was awesome. Speaking on just the cast, also Qyburn in today's episode was hype as can be. The waif from Game of Thrones. I mean, this is great. These are all actors that are really good.
Yeah, literally Star Wars, new era Star Wars is literally just Game of Thrones actors. Who all's in it? So you have Brienne, Qyburn.
Oh, that's Brienne Dark.
You have the waif. Lysa Arryn is in the sequel trilogy for like 3 seconds.
Really? Wait.
She's one of the like Imperial like officers working on.
Right.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, right. That's so weird.
The girl from Obi-Wan show.
Oh yeah, Ilaria Sand.
Dorn, the Dornish. Yep.
Yeah.
The Dorn. You have a taste.
And the Three-Eyed Raven was in Force Awakens.
Yes.
Underutilized.
Esbern
from Skyrim. You know.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think they're did I say Pedro Pascal already?
No, you didn't.
Well, Pedro
Man,
Pascal as well.
The biggest one.
Yeah.
Jeez, holy crap.
Yeah.
I forget about I saw a scene from Game of Thrones the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's funny. In the beginning, I used to think, I was like, damn, it's gonna be hard for me to not see him as, because he's a main character in Narcos as well.
Yes.
And so I used to always see him as that, and then I saw him as
the Red Viper.
Oberyn Martell. And now it's
now
he's Mando in my life.
Well, now he's also in Last of Us.
Oh yeah, he's gonna
He's insanely popular.
With another Game of Thrones girl.
With another Game of Thrones girl.
Good on Star Wars for hybriding the two, because Game of Thrones, regardless of the final season, is still top of its class. Always and forever will be.
Yeah.
But speaking on just that, also just I might not fully understand every layer of conversation between the IBS soldiers, because sometimes what they're saying I'm like, okay.
It's another thing that I hate of like. Well, it's not just that, but they're talking about things like it's like fantasy. Like when you're watching a show, which is like the shit that I've been complaining about with Lord of the Rings, and it's like you throw up of the mouth 5 things that no one knows what you're talking about. You're
Except
like,
for the hardcore fans.
Yeah, and even then it's like, to an extent, some of them they're probably like, oof. So I understood like 3 parts of that sentence, but not one.
Yeah.
Like they were each talking about like their own
sections and how
sections
they
and what was going on. And yeah, sometimes they were using like more upper level like terms for stuff that like we just commonly wouldn't use in our everyday language. But they're also just talking about like, you know, the war crimes on Ferrix or something like that, you know, which is like where Cassian did all his stuff at. So
well, I just enjoy the level that they're going with the dialogue, is what I was going to say.
Sure,
It does feel like the dialogue is better in this show for sure. I don't feel like, and it's also on par with, I'm sure, the writing, but also the actors are just really good in what they do. I mean, Luthen screamed at the girl, and I was like, oh.
You alright?
Yeah, my lip piercing just came out. It's okay.
Yeah, but solid episode. Like I'm really into the show. We also learned that our little friendly cop lives underground. He doesn't live in the beautiful part of Coruscant. He lives where the sun doesn't shine.
Is Coruscant just
buildings?
Buildings.
Literally just buildings.
Buildings like that
on a
towards the core.
Well, there's an actual planet though underneath. Taken over. So,
but it's like.
So I don't know what the actual planet looks like, but in some of the lore I've looked up on Wikipedia, because I don't know how to find any of these books, it talks about that Coruscant was literally like built over, and then it got to the point it got covered, like all the cities pictures. New York gets across all the Earth, and then it's like, well, where do we go? Well, we start building up and up and up.
Yeah.
And
hence Anakin able to jump and fall, and just keep falling, and there's still city.
And I'm there in Clone Wars. In one scene, I think it's Anakin's in some chase, but he goes into this giant open plaza where like no buildings are, and it's just like flat, like kind of dome, and there's a place where a mountain is peeking through. Picture Mount Everest peeking through, and it's encased around the plaza, so people can come and like touch the real part of what is under Coruscant.
Wow!
So picture the highest point on Earth, getting covered, and they just leave the tip of Everest visible. I can find you a picture after this.
And they reference like they call like levels, like it's like or you know, like like I live on level 3000 or something like that. I don't know how deep Coruscant goes either, but it's like it's unfathomably deep for like us.
Even Obi-Wan and Anakin chasing the assassin in the second one, that's not the bottom floor.
No, that's like a level.
Dude, no. That's the level before you actually start to go down. That's the where it ends for rich people. So that's where people go at the top of the money to just go and whore themselves.
Yeah.
Then there's the real parts where you start to go down. And you see that in Clone Wars, actually, because the 1313 game came out, or didn't come out, sorry. Didn't come
It's
out.
supposed to.
People loved the idea of it, and then there was a whole arc where Ahsoka has to go into hiding, and they go down there, and it's really cool. And
it's supposed to be like seedier too, to some degree.
Yeah.
Like the richer you are, the higher you live up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
more crime infested underneath.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean like this episode across the board, like all the actors, like I know we've like sucked them off just from being like from Game of Thrones, but even the ones that aren't, like they're all good actors.
Oh yeah.
The story is like, I feel like the first 2 episodes feel almost like it literally felt like it was a trailer for like what we're actually getting now.
Yeah, it was 100% what we predicted.
Yeah.
A prologue to the real story.
Yeah, but I mean, like everything, like it's so weird. Like I know the show is like relatively new, and I'm not gonna call it like the best, or relatively fresh in our minds. I'm not gonna call it like the best Star Wars show that we've gotten so far, but I feel like it has the potential between like the cast, the writing so far, the set pieces, the like everything about it just feels, other than like the high stakes of like Mandalorian and like the grand adventure sense, I feel like this show is just like,
so
other than that part, it's like everything else in the show's times 10 so far that we've gotten, if that makes sense.
And I like grand. I'm a prequel guy, so I like grand storytelling. So I like that even though this is a espionage journey with people trying to be hidden, like hidden away, I should say, there's bigger things at work, and first of all, we're at Coruscant. Once you're there, you feel the weight of how big the world is. And with Mando, I like the Mandalorian show a lot, but it's a personal journey between one guy and his little baby, and you go to planets where you're on like the corners of the world. Like that's an Outer Rim show. They don't go to any of the core worlds. We are in the core in this show. Like that Coruscant is like one of the core planets in Star Wars, which means the closer you get to the sun, the more population exists.
Did it not say when the
galaxy?
When Coruscant popped up, did it not say the capital of the galaxy?
Yeah, it is.
It is the capital. Yep, it's where everything meets at one point, and then from there it just gets less and less until you go to Exegol, and then apparently there's like trillions of people and cult worshippers living out on that planet. It's the final planet in the final movie.
Yeah,
Just a bunch of Sith acolytes.
Lightning to the sky. Dumbest thing.
Yeah, I'm hyped. If this is the first episode of the real journey, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good. Any last thoughts?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Y'all, if you made it to this point, make sure you do your due diligence. Leave a like on this video. Let us know your thoughts. Is this a promising start to you? Is this what you were looking forward to with Andor? If you had no expectations, let us know what you hope from the show. What are your expectations going forward? What are your thoughts on the last 3 leading up to this? And we'll see you in the next video. Punch it.
Bye.